A friend for all times and a brother for adversity, by Stephen F. Gooden-Cohen. The proverb of Solomon says, "A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for times of adversity." Throughout the annals of history, no example of this stands out more to me than that story of David and Jonathan, a story of one man soon to be king and another a son of the current king. Jonathan, the son of King Shaul, was both the constant friend and a surrogate brother who both loved and defended David, who was anointed by Samuel to be the next king. In times of both loneliness and in peril of life and death, he stood with his friend David, opposed his father, the enemy. There are such alliances and relationships in life where your friend will cheer you on and stand in the gap between you and your enemy to protect and defend your honor and your life at his own personal sacrifice. It is said, "There is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." Jesus said, "No greater love has no man than to lay down his life for his friends." An example he himself would first lead the way. History is rife with those who have laid down their lives for their friends. Some for the friend that was their country, others the friend that was their cause, and yet still, like the disciples of Jesus, the friend that is their faith. But would Jesus ask of you and expect you to do that he did not do himself? For he forged a path for all to follow, demonstrating how we too should lay down our lives for our friends and oppose the enemies of our brothers. By this example and divine edict, we know and accept the noble clarion call and privilege to never allow those with whom we are allied to ever doubt our resolve to do whatever we must to ensure our friends' redemption, rescue, safety, and survival. In kind, we leave no room for doubt in the enemy's mind of our very equal resolve to assure their demise and destruction. We make no distinction in passion of our inexorable defense of our friends and our interminable willingness to fight our enemy with resolute oblation of oath, with all our mind, heart, and body. Throughout human history, nations, tribes, and peoples have rallied hurriedly to those who've cried out for help, whether hostage, prisoner of war, victim, or the abandoned and forsaken and forgotten, the lost, the missing, the enslaved, and even the dead. We've stood with our friends to save them, find them, redeem them, bring them home. We vowed to see justice served so that their sacrifice would not be in vain. Those offenders of righteousness will receive their due in penance and punishment. Ever committed in steadfast opposition to the enemy, with full conviction of conscience and a holy divine indignation, we become the friend who will love at all times and the brother who was born for delivering you from your adversity. This adversary, in whatever form or shape he takes, will discover our friend is not alone. Since our founding, we've engaged in these battles of friend and foe, and even brother against brother in that horrid civil war. And in each and every scenario, some more just than others, some nobler, and some to our shame and regret, we remained stoic and marched with certainty and fortitude that was incomparable and inevitable. Together, we celebrated our joint victories, endured and mourned our shared losses, defeats, and corrected when humbled our errors of moral violations. We learned that without following God's moral compass of conscience, whose needle always points north, we would be doomed to failure and inadvertently suffer the same fate of our enemies. No matter the fear or threats and noises of our adversaries, we must always aim and press towards that mark. God has so ordained, while neither staggering, swaying, or straying from that course. In those moments when we are not at our finest, when we feel our weakest, and things are at their darkest, it's in those moments where the tides are turned and destiny is etched in history. It is then and there that we fasten humility to our belt, willingly repent of our sins, and correct our course. We stand with our friends, but not in contradiction to the divine purpose. The higher oath that binds us also guides us to that law above all laws of friend and foe. We are never to be in dereliction of this duty, for there's no nobler cause for which to pursue, none for which we were born. Carefully we choose those we call friends, and mindfully attend to those we designate as the enemy. As best we can, we consider who's on God's side before we too quickly take sides, for no greater guarantee of victory can there be than to be on his side, the side of human life, dignity, freedom, and justice, according to his decree, to hear the cry, the plea, the need of the poor, the widow, the orphan. Let us find in ourselves the willingness to extricate our pride, eliminate our malice, temper our prejudice, and avoid our greed. No selfish pursuit by trickery, lies, and hate should be found between friends. We mustn't thirst for bloodshed, for the heat of vengeance, or lust for power, just for drunken control. For it is for God to decide when mercy, grace, and judgment is to be dispensed. By his will we achieve the greater good that in turn and time will end the horror and cost of wars that have been far too frequent and lasted far too long. If for now we have to beat our plowshares into swords and fight, remember that the day will come after that battle that those very same swords will be beat back into plowshares, and the hands that killed will once again heal. Each and every generation will take their turn at the wheel of war, and the seat of peace, learning God's providence and man's obedience to it, declaring to ourselves and the world by these actions who we are to our friends and to our foe, what we stand for, and what and who we stand against. By God's decree, we defend the weak, vulnerable, and victim, and we do not pretend to not see or deny that we are our brother's keeper. We do for others because eventually those tables will turn and we will need them to do for us. Friends doing for friends because we are friends, and that is reason enough. And this is the principle of mutual mass survival. Winston Churchill discovered in World War II, for nearly 18 to 20 months, he wondered about his friend, President Roosevelt. Might he come to their aid? At the time, his friend was weary of war. After that great war of 1914 to 1918, a war that cost America over 100,000 of their sons. A war-weary country had no stomach for another fight, no matter how moral or right or just it was. It was a time our own fear and weariness of the prospect of another bloodletting meant derailing our own America First policies and revitalization of economy. The question became the policy. Should we fight to defend another country, ally or not? How often in a day do I forgive my brother when I'm weary of his offenses? And the Lord answered, 77 times 7, 490 times in a day. So I ask too, then, how often, Lord, do we stand with our brother, friend, and oppose our enemies? And the answer comes back, as often as needed and whenever necessary. It's this untiring commitment that strikes fear in the heart of the enemy and yet gives strength in the heart of our friends. There will always be those naysayers who will shout and decry, not our fight, not our cause, not our country. And they would be right, but for all the wrong reasons. For what makes any action of war necessary is when asking this question, is it the right thing to do? Not my fight, but it's my friend's fight. And that's good enough reason than any to make it mine. Not my country, but it's my friend's country. Not my cause, but it's the cause of my friend. Not my adversary, but it's the adversary of my brother. And therefore, any enemy of my brother is my enemy, and any friend of my friend will be my ally. We are bound together by a common cause and a holy code and the mutual mass survival of us both, intertwined in a shared destiny by a God we both call our Father, making us indefinitely and eternally our brother's keeper. As goes one, will go the other. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? We will be strong together, whether in victory or band together in defeat, life or death, loss or gain. We shed and share our tears over our losses and our dead, and we will revel jointly in the joy and bounty of our victories. indelible code by this brotherly bond. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for times of adversity, for times such as this. Let it be written in stone and etched in flesh. I am both your friend and brother, forged in blood and spirit by God's design. Till death do we part, to the day of our returning eternal King, reunited. Then we together will hear him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. I no longer call you servant, but now I call you friend.
Watching them die. Why are they crying? Is there more that we can try to ease their pain and suffering? Help them one by one see each of them can soon be free to be the child that smiles and plays, free to live long, grow old and gray, free to be in lovers, dreaming of the wedding day. Come on everybody, take a moment to reflect that we are everybody. If not us, do we expect to ease their pain and suffering? Help them one by one so each of them can soon be free. Free to be the child that smiles and plays, free to live long, grow old and gray, free to be in lovers, dreaming of the wedding day. Let them be free, let them be free, let them be free, free to be free, free to be, let them be free, free, let them be free. Free to be young lovers, dreaming of the wedding day. Let them be free, let them be free. Just let them be free, let them be free to be free. Come on, let them be a child that smiles and plays. Help them one by one so each of them can soon be